Let us begin our journey high above the Earth's surface. Here, where the clouds drift and the winds whisper ancient stories, we find a unique perspective. We are floating over the land of China, a country of immense scale and breathtaking diversity. Below us, nestled on the southern banks of the mighty Yangtze River, lies a city cradled by water and watched over by mountains. This is Jiujiang. From this vantage point, the world transforms. The familiar clamor of daily life fades into a gentle, rhythmic pulse. The intricate details of streets and buildings merge into a grand, sweeping mosaic of color and form, revealing patterns we could never perceive from the ground. It is a place where history and nature are deeply intertwined, a bond that becomes wonderfully clear from an aerial view. Jiujiang, which translates to 9 rivers, hints at the vital role water plays in its identity. Looking down, we see not just one river, but a network of waterways that shimmer like silver threads woven into the landscape. Our journey begins at the city's edge, where the countryside holds sway. As we rise slowly, the landscape below begins to reveal its secrets. We see small villages, their tiled roofs a warm, earthy red against the vibrant green of the surrounding fields. These are the agricultural lands that have sustained the region for countless generations. The fields are laid out in an intricate patchwork, some flooded for rice cultivation, shimmering like mirrors reflecting the vast sky. Winding country roads connect these communities, appearing like delicate pencil lines drawn across a canvas. As we continue our ascent and drift gently inward, the first signs of the expanding city appear. The dense green gives way to the more structured patterns of suburban life. Yet, even here, the transition is not abrupt. Parks and green spaces are woven into the fabric of these newer districts, like deliberate pauses for breath in the city's composition. We can see how Jiujiang has expanded, not by conquering the landscape, but by settling within it, respecting the natural flow of the hills and valleys that define this remarkable part of the world. Water is the lifeblood of Jiujiang. From our elevated perspective, this truth is rendered in stunning clarity. The city's name, 9 Rivers, is not mere poetry. It is a literal description of the geography that has shaped this place. We can see these waterways branching off from the main artery of the Yangtze, creating a complex and beautiful network that crisscrosses the landscape. The grandest of these waterways is, of course, the Yangtze River itself. From up here, its sheer scale is humbling. It is not just a river, it is a colossal, moving highway of nature. We can see ships, large and small, navigating its powerful currents, appearing as tiny specks from our great height. They move with a steady, determined pace, part of the relentless flow of commerce and life that the river has supported for millennia. The banks of the river are a tapestry of greens and browns, a mixture of natural wetlands and man-made embankments designed to guide and contain its immense power. Beyond the Yangtze, our eyes are drawn to the numerous lakes that dot the landscape around the city. The most famous of these is Poyang Lake, but there are many smaller bodies of water as well, each with its own unique character. They appear as calm, reflective pools of turquoise and deep blue, nestled amongst the green fields and urban sprawl. The interplay of light on these watery surfaces creates a constantly changing spectacle. As we drift south of the city, an immense body of water stretches out to the horizon. This is Poyang Lake, one of China's largest freshwater lakes. From our aerial perch, its vastness is truly astonishing. It appears less like a lake and more like an inland sea. Its shoreline is a complex meandering line creating countless bays, inlets, and wetlands. The color of the water changes with its depth, shifting from a pale, sandy yellow in the shallows to a deep, mysterious sapphire in its center. The lake is not a static pool, but a dynamic environment. Its size and shape fluctuate dramatically throughout the year. Dotted across this great expanse are small fishing boats, their occupants patiently casting their nets in a tradition that has been passed down through generations. This great lake is also a sanctuary of global importance. It is a critical stopping point for migratory birds on their epic journeys along the East Asian-Australasian flyway. In winter, hundreds of thousands of birds, including the critically endangered Siberian crane, arrive here to feed and rest. Poyang Lake is more than just a beautiful feature. It is a living, breathing heart of biodiversity. Turning our gaze to the south of Jiujiang, the landscape rises dramatically. Here stands Mount Lushan, a majestic mountain range that has inspired poets, artists, and spiritual seekers for over 2,000 years. From the air, we can appreciate its full grandeur. It is not a single peak, but a magnificent cluster of over 100 peaks, their jagged ridges and forest-clad slopes creating a formidable and beautiful silhouette against the sky. The mountains rise steeply from the plains surrounding Poyang Lake, standing as silent stone sentinels that have watched over this region through countless dynasties. The slopes of Mount Lushan are cloaked in a dense blanket of forest. The colors are a rich tapestry of greens, from the bright, fresh green of new spring growth to the deep, dark green of ancient pines. Winding through this sea of trees are streams and rivers that cascade down the mountainside, carving deep ravines and creating spectacular waterfalls. The mountain is constantly shrouded in mist and clouds, which swirl around the peaks, sometimes concealing them completely, only to part moments later to reveal their breathtaking beauty. Nestled among the peaks and valleys, we can spot the distinctive rooftops of temples, villas, and monasteries. These structures seem to grow organically from the mountainside, their architecture designed to be in harmony with the natural surroundings. As we drift back over the urban core of Jiujiang, the composition of the city reveals its long and layered history. The view from above is a fascinating blend of the ancient and the modern, coexisting in a dynamic and often beautiful arrangement. We can see the neat, orderly grids of new developments, with their towering apartment buildings and wide tree-lined boulevards. These structures represent the city's recent growth and its connection to the modern world. Their sleek lines and reflective surfaces stand in stark contrast to the older parts of the city. Adjacent to these modern districts, we find the tangled organic patterns of the older neighborhoods. Here, the streets are narrower, more winding, following paths laid down centuries ago. The rooftops are a jumble of grey tiles, weathered by time and the seasons. These areas are the historic heart of Jiujiang. The contrast is not one of conflict, but of evolution. We can see how the city has grown around its historic core, preserving it while simultaneously reaching for the future. A modern skyscraper might cast its shadow over a centuries-old temple, not erasing it, but framing it in a new context. Let us look closer now, at the specific landmarks that whisper tales of Jiujiang's rich past. We can see the elegant form of the Shenyang Tower, standing proudly near the banks of the Yangtze. Its tiered roofs, with their gracefully curved eaves, are a classic example of traditional Chinese architecture. This tower has been immortalized in poetry and has stood for centuries as a symbol of the city. Our eyes are also drawn to the temples scattered throughout the urban landscape. We can see the Nengren Temple, with its striking pagoda rising high above the surrounding buildings. The golden roofs of its main halls glint in the sun, and the layout of the temple complex, with its courtyards, halls, and gardens, is clearly visible from above. We can also trace the path of the old city wall, or what remains of it. While much of the original wall is gone, its former route can often be discerned in the layout of the streets that replaced it. Near the river, we can spot the Gantang Lake, in the middle of which is an island connected by a beautiful winding bridge. This bridge, the Yanshui Pavilion, is another of Jiujiang's famous landmarks. There is the Suojiang Pagoda, built to calm the waters of the Yangtze, standing as a testament to the city's deep and often fearful respect for the river's power. Each of these historical sites is a thread in the rich tapestry of Jiujiang's story. From the sky, these individual sites connect, forming a map of the city's memory. As we continue our gentle flight, let us observe the colors and textures that bring the city to life. From above, Jiujiang is a painting rendered in a palette of surprising subtlety and richness. The dominant color is, of course, green. It is everywhere. We see it in the lush foliage of the mountains, the deep green of the city's parks, and the lighter yellower green of the agricultural fields. The rooftops of the city add another layer of color and texture. In the older districts, we see a sea of weathered gray tiles, their tones varying slightly from one building to the next, creating a soft, muted mosaic. This gray is punctuated by the vibrant reds and golds of temple roofs, which stand out like bright jewels. The water, too, adds its own unique colors to the composition. The mighty Yangtze is often a muddy, powerful brown, a color that speaks of its immense strength and the vast amount of earth it carries. In contrast, the smaller lakes and canals can be a clear, reflective blue or a deep, tranquil green. These bodies of water act as mirrors, reflecting the colors of the sky and the surrounding buildings. Even the movement within the city creates its own kind of color. The flow of traffic on the major roads appears as streams of red, white, and yellow lights, especially as evening approaches. From our peaceful vantage point, all these small details merge into a single cohesive image. It is the image of a city that is alive, a place of quiet beauty and gentle rhythmic energy. Our journey above Jiujiang is drawing to a close. As we slowly descend, the grand patterns we observed begin to resolve back into the familiar details of life on the ground. The great river becomes a waterfront, the mountain becomes a park, and the mosaic of rooftops becomes a neighborhood of individual homes and streets. But we carry with us the memory of the view from above. We have seen how the disparate elements of this place, the river, the lake, the mountain, the old town, the new city, are not separate things, but parts of a single, interconnected whole. This is the great gift of the aerial perspective. It offers us a sense of peace and understanding that is often difficult to find in our busy, ground-level lives. From the sky, the world seems to make more sense. We see the logic of a city's layout, the wisdom of its relationship with nature, and the beauty of its long history written upon the landscape. The noise and complexity of daily life fade away, replaced by a sense of calm and wonder. We are reminded that we are part of something much larger than ourselves, a vast and beautiful system in which everything has its place. The beauty we have witnessed in Jiujiang is not unique to this one place. Every city, every landscape on our planet has its own story, its own unique patterns that are revealed when we take the time to look at them from a different angle. So let us carry this feeling of serenity with us. Let us remember the gentle curves of the river, the misty peaks of the mountain, and the quiet harmony of a city at peace with its setting. The view from the sky is an invitation to fall in love with our world all over again. All we need to do is pause, look up, and allow ourselves to see it from a new and more peaceful point of view.